You guys, it's snowing. Okay guys, so it is still snowing, but it's getting dark fast, and I wanted to take the kids outside, but there's not really much for them to play in. They don't have boots, so I don't want to get like their only sneakers that they have wet before like we go home and stuff. I know they'll probably dry out, but I want to let them play in this so bad. But they are starting to get sick from the airplane. Not cool. Not cool at all. Good morning, you guys. It is just a little after 9 on Thursday morning, and you guys are going to see this video today. I was hoping to put this vlog out, or this compilation at least, of the footage that I caught on Monday, but with everything going on and all the craziness, I only had time to work on editing that Super Bowl appetizer video that had to go out early Tuesday morning. And as it was, I think I was 16 minutes late, but that's probably the earliest that I have been in a collab in the longest time since I'm late for everything. So I was only 16 minutes late, which for me is an improvement. So I was happy about that, but I worked on that all day on Monday and didn't really have a chance to sit down and close this out. This weekend, I did not get a chance to vlog anywhere near what I was hoping to. I had so many plans because we had so many fun things going on. I just wanted to take you guys with me, and I like to document the memories, not just showing you guys. We go back and watch them. Like, for example, on Saturday morning, my mom and I had to do some last like running around for the family event that we had going on Saturday night. And the whole time during Christmas time, Maya was in the kitchen with me when we were cooking or, you know, cleaning and getting ready for the holidays. I had mentioned to you guys a few times that I was playing back our old vlogs. And Maya wanted to know why baby Maya, yeah, because she's grown up Maya. She wants to know why baby Maya had earrings. And I told her that on her first birthday, we got her ears pierced, but between it always getting stuck on the blanket and then her always fiddling with them, she would never stop. Paul is her godfather, and of course, as soon as she got her ears pierced, he paid for that. And then once she got her ears pierced, he bought her for Christmas that year, I think, like these $400 blue diamond earrings, like Paul. She was not even 2. Like, I don't know, he was so excited that he couldn't wait to do that, and she pulled them out. We lost them. I have no idea where they were. Like, that was the silliest thing ever. But he was so excited. He wanted her to have these earrings, and she was so upset that she didn't have earrings anymore. She said she wanted earrings like mommy. She wanted big Maya to have earrings like baby Maya. So my best friend Jen said that she would take her as her Christmas present to get her ears pierced. But she only really wanted to do that because we were watching back these old vlogs and these kinds of videos. So that was kind of just bringing this around full circle, because that's why I like to do these. But the footage that I captured and what I was able to gather this past weekend was definitely not what I had anticipated. So after Maya got her ears pierced, man, she was such a champ. Jen sent me video footage and some still shots. I actually said to her, hey, if they have 2 piercers on, have someone do it at the same time, because she already had the like holes ready to go. So she cried for a moment. She was definitely a little bit upset. I think that the rest of the day it was bothering her. And then for the first couple days after that, like Sunday and Monday, when you take her shirt off, if you like brush up against it, she reminds you that it hurts her. And then now if you bring attention to it or you touch it, she'll tell you that it hurts. But after a week to 10 days, like, she should be fully healed, and then I think she'll, you know, really enjoy them, because she was all about wanting that to be done. So while Jen had her, I took my mom last minute running around. So we went to Walmart, we went to Target, and did we go somewhere else? Oh, Petco, because I thought I had to get a gift card or something from there, but it ended up not working out. So we went to those 3 places, and then we went back home, and then next thing you know, it started to snow. So that's what you guys saw, like opening video of the snow coming down. And then the kids were, that's it. Once they saw the snow coming down, they wanted to go out and play. And I mean, can you blame them? I can't blame them, but I could tell that they were starting to get sick. Their noses were red, their cheeks were red, their lips were chapped, their nose wouldn't stop running. So I tried to distract them with something I know they enjoy, and I was like, let's go take a tub in Grammy's Tubby. So I went and started the bath off warm and put like Vicks in there and tried to clear them up, and then let them play till the water was cool. This way it kind of like brought their clamminess down, because I know that their colds or whatever they got was from being on the plane or in the airport or something. The kids were like licking the seats and stuff. You don't know what's been where. You're in an airplane where all the germs get decompressed and stuff while you're in there, and you're breathing in everybody else's everything. And so the kids just, they always get sick when we travel for whatever reason. So I knew this was going to happen. I just didn't want to send them outside in the snow. Like, how do you go from 70 degrees to 20 and be in the snow? Like, it's just why they get sick. So I tried to, you know, get them into the tub, which they did enjoy. And I think that once they got out, they felt, it brought the sickness on. I was hoping it was going to like calm them a little bit, but it brought it on. They felt cozy and stuff after that. And then like, you could see the redness in their eyes. So I had my aunt bring over some medicine, and I tucked the kids in, and they kind of just laid down and vegged out. And then next thing I know, I was like, all right, well, I got to start cooking, because not only was I having all these people over and I had to cook this giant array of food, everybody was bringing something, but we had a fair amount. Only one oven. People were bringing stuff that had to be heated up and stuff here, so timing had to be on. And in the middle of that, I had to film all of this, because that's the appetizer video that you guys saw. So it was kind of hard for me to vlog all of that while my camera was running, and I was like a mad woman in the kitchen trying to get everything done. Once the kids kind of felt a little bit better, they ended up joining my mom at the table, where they decorated some cupcakes, which was super cute. They had a lot of quality time. Of course, my mom is not working, and so we're going to talk about my mom in just a little bit. There's some questions that I want to address at the end of this vlog. I got a lot of questions about some different things over the last few videos, and so it's easier for me just to address them in a video like this, as opposed to writing everybody back the same thing. So hold that thought about my mom. We're going to address a couple of things in a few minutes. But now that she's home, she's been like ordering stuff on the computer, like fun little cutesy things to do. So she ordered all these like special wrappers and little things for the cupcakes for her to decorate with the kids. So they did that, and then we pulled all of the food together, and everybody ate, which was great. Everybody was loving the food. They were raving about all the different appetizers. Who loved the Italian ring? Jake was totally digging the tater tots. Everybody loved the hot dogs. My dad said the taco, nacho, you know, things were amazing. So that worked out perfect. And then right when we were ready to play that game that I wanted you guys to see, my camera was dead, like done. So I had to charge the battery. I didn't bring, my backup wasn't charged either, you know, the brilliant genius that I am. So there was no filming that, which was really upsetting. But I'm going to pop a picture up right here of what I found on Pinterest. And if you guys aren't following me, the link is in the description box. But it's under the Christmas board, and you guys can pin it yourself to play like further games in the future. This was so much fun. It was kind of a white elephant game, but twist on left, right, center. So thumbs up right now, comment down below, let me know if you guys play left, right, center. But I have played that for years and years growing up. We always had so much fun. We played at dollar bills at like New Year's and parties and stuff late at night, like everyone was drinking and having a good time and playing left, right, center. And that kind of reminded me of this, and I thought it would be fun because we pretty much had 7 couples that were going to be there. And so 14 people, that's a lot of people to kind of make this game go around. So everybody brought a $20 gift, and then we played that game. So it was a lot of fun. I wanted to share that with you guys, but it was the first year doing it. I think next year we're going to go around twice, because 4 times we got like something we had already gotten before. So there were numbers we never saw, like trade with someone in red or trade with someone in green, or what. There was like so many different ones that we didn't get to try because we kind of rolled the same numbers. So I think next time we'll go around twice or something. We were just, normally we exchange all of us, but what I had to bring home, wait till you guys see the next video. wait till you see what Daryl and I are filming today. Like our unpacking of everything, what we had to ship home, and all of our luggage stuff. Like, it's craziness. We couldn't have all exchanged and stuff. It was more fun to do, you know, what we did. And I got a game, and which I don't know what happened to that game. I feel like I didn't pack that. And then Daryl got like a Contigo kind of water bottle and hot coffee mug, which that's all about. He loves all that kind of stuff. So he brings coffee mugs, all that kind of stuff to work. So that worked out really nice. We had a really, really good time. And then Sunday, my in-laws showed up. So I woke up in a mad dash because everything was a disaster from the night before. We were playing that game at like 10, 11 o'clock at night after we ate and stuff like that. So when the kids did their presents, they still exchanged with the kids. The adults are what played this game, but still everybody brought for my kids. And my aunt is older, and there's 4 kids, and they're all grown-ups. So they all bring presents for my kids. So it was like 5 people all bringing presents. If everybody gives 2 or 3 gifts, next thing you know, it's like, it was why I had to bring so much crap home. It gets a little craziness. So that's why I'm glad we cut out the adults and had that fun time with the game, but everything was in disarray. So we got up and we prepped everything. It was so nice to see my in-laws. I felt so bad for them. That little snow that we had that the kids couldn't play in, my in-laws were getting that too. So I was a little nervous for a second that they weren't going to be able to come. They left earlier than planned and got a hotel. They got in like 1 or something in the morning on the island, and they stayed in a hotel, and then they came over about like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that. But I shot up at 6 off the couch, and I was like, oh my God, my in-laws are coming. So we ran around, we cleaned up, and I tried to pack away all the stuff, like the toys and the presents and stuff the kids got the night before. I was like trying to clean up all the cookie sheets and trays and everything in the sink and stuff, like the mess that we made cooking, all that stuff and all that food. And then once they got there, I said hello to them, and then I ran out and I got bagels. You guys. The bagel store that I'm showing you guys right now in this clip is the bagel store that I used to work at. It was one of my first jobs. I started there when I was 17. Rob still owns this bagel store. It was him and his father. His father has passed, but Rob still owns the bagel store. Like when I go in there, it's like family. I get whatever I need, but everything feels like home in there. It just smells so, so good. So got bagels, and then I went over to ShopRite and got cold cuts. Had to get some more Boar's Head before I left, and I got all the cold cuts that I needed to like serve for my in-laws. I made chicken salad, I made egg salad, and then had cold cuts for them, and we had sandwiches and whatever because they were starving. So fed them, and then once they were done eating, then they brought in all their presents for Christmas. So then this was like my kids' 3rd Christmas, 4th Christmas at this point already, which is why they always have tons of stuff, and my house is never clean, just FYI. So they had a big Christmas whatever with them, and then as soon as they were done opening, my in-laws stayed, and like they had coffee and a piece of cake, and then they had to leave because they all had to work and stuff the next day. They're about a 6-hour drive, so it was a long time for them. We barely got, you know, 8 hours with them or whatever. So still happy to see them. Wish we could have done longer. I love going up there to visit them, especially in the winter time. I mean, it's usually we get some kind of crappy weather and we're fighting through snow and stuff, but that apple orchard, when it's just all the leaves have fallen and it's just desolate and it's nothing but snow-kissed trees and everything, and then the sun comes up over it and it's like a sea of sparkles. It's absolutely breathtaking. So I love going up there in the winter and then sitting in front of like their kettle fire and stuff, but definitely no time this time. Like there was no time to rent a car and drive up there. That would have been our whole trip. So blessed that they were able to come down. But by the end of that, when they left, we were like in full mode to start packing, because I knew that Monday I had editing to do and a lot of packing and stuff and getting ready. So Sunday I started working on some packing, and then Monday that's what I did all day. I either edited the video for Tuesday morning, or we packed and condensed and broke down toys out of boxes and everything I possibly could to get us ready to come home. And then that was really it. Tuesday flew by. Our car picked us up at 3 o'clock. And I feel like by the time we went to UPS and mailed our packages and we cleaned out the refrigerator and everybody ate and we did laundry and finished packing, the car was there. Like, we barely got to say goodbye. It's like the difference. When you're driving, you leave whenever. You have as much time to stand and hug and kiss in the driveway.
Bye-bye.
Say bye, I love you. Yes, we will come back, okay?
Okay.
Love you. Love you, babe. When someone's coming to pick you up and you have a plane to catch, it's like, I got to go. That's it. Hug me, kiss me. I got to go. So it's hard to watch my mom and see her sad. I guess that kind of, you know, brings me a little bit to what I want to talk about. You know, the travel home and stuff was different. I tried to weigh out what I liked better, driving home or flying. It's, you know, the lesser of two evils. Everything has its pros and cons, so I'm not exactly sure how I feel about either one. Like I said, each one has its own issues, but I want to touch a little bit about my mom and New York. I got a bunch of comments saying like, hey, if you call New York home, then why don't you live there? Like, why do you live so far away, like first Carolina, then Texas? Like, that's also random. And I totally get that. That makes so much sense to me why everybody would ask that question, but I feel like I really need to address it. I've touched on it a few times, like in my moving video. I touched on it in the update video about my mom and her stroke. Like, all of those things I touched on why I don't live in New York, but I feel like nobody really understands that there's New York and then there's Long Island. And if you do, and you look into your research and stuff like that, there is a huge difference. Like the house where my mother-in-law lives up in the country, it's a nice house. It still has of value, but it's still like over $100,000. It's probably what she could get for her house. There's no such thing as a $100,000 house on Long Island. You get a shack for $250,000, $300,000. It's a small house. It is not feasible to live unless you have gotten in to purchasing a home on the island years ago. If you got into a good career, you went to college, you made good money, or you did and bought a house like when our parents bought houses 30 and 40 years ago. My parents have been in that house for 36 and a half years. So why I consider that home is it's pretty much all I know. I lived at my grandmother's house for the first year and a half of my life, and I grew up in that house too, of course, but that house has been long sold since my grandparents have passed away, and I haven't been back there in years. So home is where I've grown up my whole life. My parents are still in the same house that I've had forever and ever. So that's why it feels like home to me. But my parents paid $56,000 for their house, which they have long paid off. $56,000. Could you imagine paying that for a house? Like, no, like not in this generation. My parents and my grandparents and stuff, they were on the islands in different generations, but I can't keep up there. I do not have a problem admitting that I cannot keep up on that island. Do I think that Daryl and I could bust our asses? Do I think that we could work hard and be able to survive there? Yeah, of course, anybody could, but what value of life would I have? Would I see my children? Would I even see my parents? Like, what? I don't want that. My dad is talking about not being able to retire ever. That breaks my heart to me, because he doesn't think he'll ever be able to not be able to pay the taxes. The taxes on their house just keep going up and up and up. It's almost $11,000 a year. You're talking almost $1,000 a month just in property tax. That to me is asinine. My taxes in Carolina were $2,500, which was the reason why when I first moved down there, I knew somebody who introduced me to the area, and I came down on vacation and I couldn't believe it. Like $150,000 house, and my parents' house could fit inside of it, and it was brand new, and it had granite countertops and plush carpet, and I was like, what the hell am I doing on Long Island? It's not that I wanted to leave my family, but I wanted to give my kids what my parents gave me, which was a house and a home and a place that they could call home, just like I did. Carolina ended up not really being it for me. I liked it there, but we didn't know anybody. We never really made any friends, so it just didn't feel like home. We spent most of the time traveling back to Long Island. Like, I want for it to feel like home. Yes, I know Texas feels a little bit random, but when Daryl first got that job offer here, it was almost like fate, because I've been best friends with Marissa for, it's 17 years. I mean, it's crazy how long that we have been friends. And she's been here for almost 10. Literally, she's been asking me to move here since the month that I moved into my Carolina house. I was like, girl, I just moved here. I'm not moving there. So it's not exactly as random as it seems, because she's been asking me to move here for so long, and a job offer came up and we knew we could be in the same area. We were like, all right, I mean, come on, that's just like fate. V wasn't that far away either, and I felt like, okay, now at least if we go somewhere that we feel like we have family, we won't feel so alone. Could I go back to New York? Yes, but I don't know if I would survive there even still now. We've grown up in our careers. Daryl has a lot on his resume that he could try and get a job there, but still, you have to make $100,000 a year plus as a combined family to even just get by. Live comfortable, not be ballin', just live comfortable. I don't want that in my life. If I make $100,000 plus a year, I want to be living the good life. And that's, I aspire for that. And my parents don't understand why I don't want to trade aspirations for them. But if I trade the aspirations for them, by the time they're no longer here, I'm going to be too old to be chasing aspirations. And I'm going to have to put my roots down. So I'm just trying to find like solid ground before I'm too old and it's too late. And so that brings me to my mom. So everybody said, oh, your mom looks great. Like, how is she doing? I want to touch base on her a little bit because I learned a lot on this trip. Like, my mom and I sat and had a talk, and she kind of educated me a little bit on what's going on really with her stroke and exactly what caused it and what happened and where she's at right now. And I've never really sat and clarified that with you guys. My mom has definitely had some improvement, but she's hit a stalemate. She's pretty much at the point where she's not going to improve any further than where she's at. And they were hoping and expecting her to be a little bit further along than she is. So what caused her stroke was the carotid artery on the right side is 100% blocked. And the one on the left side is 60% blocked. So that's what caused her stroke. And they cannot clean this one out because plaque is hard. Just like imagine plaque on your teeth. It's hard and cement-like, and if you drill through it, it'll send fragments. There's no way to filter it. It'll put that into the brain and pretty much cause additional stroke. So can't do that. And they would like to stent this side, but they have to shut this side down to put the stent in, and then this side's blocked. So then nothing's putting blood to the brain, and that's a no-no. So my mom just had a big test on Monday that should determine where my mom's at as far as her further prognosis and her healing. So if it's still at 60% blocked, and what they've done with my mom quitting smoking and the medication that she's on and everything that precautionary measures that they've put in motion to try and heal my mom, if those have helped, then, and she's still right where she was, then the prognosis is well, as long as she maintains this path, then she should be able to have a longevity of life. She may not heal any further than she is right now. She still has very poor usage of her left side. She has very weird, uncomfortable sensations. She can't do buttons, zippers. There's a lot of things she can't do on herself. Her speech is still impaired. The doctor compared it to if your brain is a pizza pie with 8 slices, 2 slices of my mom's have been affected, and it's the part of and the slices of the brain that affect the fine motor skills and your coordination and the part of her speech and the weird sensation that you have on your skin. The part of the brain that controls all of that is the part of the brain that the stroke affected, which is why my mom's conditions and the result of her stroke is so uncomfortable for her. So if the test comes back that there's more plaque buildup and what they're doing is not working, then we've kind of hit and difficult impasse, I guess, because there's only one other option after that, and that's doing a bypass surgery where they bypass the carotid artery that's only 60% and they put it to the brain on its own. But the brain, basically, if you guys, have ever seen a brain before, all your little ridges and vessels that are inside of the brain, when the blood flows, it flows through those vessels at different paths at different times. When they connect that vessel and do that bypass, the moment that it's connected and then they turn that flow of blood on and they let it continue the course, there's no way to tell the way the blood is flowing in the brain at that time. So it's kind of like a 50-50 shot that when you turn the blood on and let that bypass connect, that the blood's going in the right direction. And if it's not, it could pretty much cause an instant stroke at that point in time, and another stroke would probably take my mom out. So we're really hoping for no change or improvement. I don't really know if improvement is an option, but at least no change in that blockage on the carotid. If there is, my mom said she wouldn't want to do that kind of surgery. The risk and prognosis of that is not good. So I guess nobody really knows until you're in that situation, the decisions that you would decide. So that makes it even more difficult to not want to live there, because I feel like my mom needs me and I want to help her. But unless I live in the house with her, there's no way to really help her anyways. And I can't do that to us. We really need to be our own individual family. And I don't know if we would survive there. I don't really know if I want to roll the dice and take that shot. It's too crowded there, and it's so expensive, and I go there and I don't feel like it's home. What feels home to me is because it's the house that I've lived in and my family is there. But wherever my family is, I would feel like home. As long as I'm with my immediate family, and if I could, be with his family. But his family lives upstate too. So, and his dad isn't getting any younger. He just had hernia surgery on Tuesday. He's had all sorts of things removed. He's had cancer already. We can't be in both places at one time. It's not fair just to relocate for my family. He has a family too that could use us. These are rough decisions. But I felt like if we weren't going to live in New York where it was expensive to live, I wanted to live where I could be near at least some kind of family and friend. So a job offer opened the gates, and then once that offer passed, we were already set on moving here. So that's why we're here and not New York, and that's where we are with my mom. So say a prayer for her on that. I think I'm going to leave off on a good note and a last final story. Somebody asked why there was money on the tree in the Christmas vlog with my family, and that was actually a tradition that my grandfather started, my mom's dad. He always wanted to kind of help with Christmas and stuff, and my grandmother was always an independent working woman, and she always took care of buying for Christmas and everything on her own. So my grandfather's contribution to Christmas would be to give everyone some kind of money, and he would put it on the tree. If he decided you got $20, which in the 80s and stuff was a lot of money, then he would break it up. Maybe you would get two 5s and 10 ones, or however he wanted to do it, a 10, a 5, and 5 ones, and he would write your name on the bill, and he would put it on the tree in different spots, and he would call us all up to the tree at different times, and you'd have to go around and find all of your money, and then you'd have to go to Papa, and you'd have to say, okay, Papa, I have 15, I have 20, I have 25, and he would tell you, yep, you're good, you found, oh, nope, you got 10, nope, you're not done, keep going back, keep looking, you forgot something. So it was always a tradition of his. My grandmother always went last, and she always got the big bill on the top of the tree. It was always a 50 or 100, which again in the 80s was whoa. And he called her Doll. So it was always so cute to see Doll written, and she would have, her bill or her envelope at the top of the tree. But he had 2 daughters. And so he was, close with my father as his son-in-law. My mom has been married to my dad for 40 something years, and my Aunt Debbie, who passed away, she got married and divorced young. So my dad's son, my grandfather's son, was my dad. So he pretty much told my dad, hey, you need to carry on the tradition for me in my passing. You need to make sure that the money tree is done. And when my dad passes, we'll make sure that our money tree is done. You know, my brother and I have both agreed that we would continue with that tradition always. And I know that my cousin does it for his kids. And, you know, my dad does it for us. And we're just going to keep the tradition going forever. I always love to tell that story and hope that maybe somebody will want to carry on that tradition in their own home. Because I would love for, you know, Papa's cool little thing that he kind of came up with and invented to go viral and have people do that all over, because I always thought that was so super sweet, especially because we've gotten our dollars back, because, you know, he writes your name on them. So my name, especially spelled the way that it is very unique, and my grandfather's handwriting is very unique. So I have gotten my own money back, which is kind of crazy. My grandfather used to run a hot dog truck, and over the summertime, I would stay at my grandma's the whole summer, and I would go with my papa, and I would help him run his hot dog truck. And one time I was standing there, and I gave somebody their hot dogs, and they gave me their money. And I was like, I stood there in shock when I counted the bills, because there was my grandfather's handwriting with my name on this bill. Like, this guy just gave me back my own money that who knows, that could have been a bill that was circulating for 10 years, because my grandfather had been doing this since I was, you know, a really, really, really young child. So there's definitely bills out there in circulation that have our names written on them. And now I've gotten ones back that say Shorty on it. That's what my dad calls me. But my grandfather's been passed away for almost 10 years. So my dad's been doing it and writing Shorty on the bills. And I've gotten back, or somebody did. My dad, somebody got back one that said Shorty on it in his handwriting. So it's pretty neat how, like, some things, I guess if you never do that, think about how many times you could have touched money that you've touched before, years and years and years and years and years ago. You'd never know unless there was something on the bill to let you know. So when you see your name written in a handwriting that you could, you know, pick out anywhere, it's kind of neat. So I love to tell that story. So I'm really glad that somebody asked about that. That's like the first time I think I've shown the money tree in every vlog that I've done since I started my channel. I think that's the first time that anybody has ever asked me why we do that. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I hope you got your answer. And I think I'm going to call this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed, like, the little footage that I was able to scroll across the screen while I was talking. Today, Daryl and I are going to film and unpack with me and kind of tidy up and put away all of our Christmas stuff and declutter, because when I bring all these toys in, I'm like determined to get toys out. So we're gonna take care of all of that today, and I think that's it, guys. So thank you so much for joining me, sitting on the couch in my story time spot and kind of answering some questions and going over what went on this weekend. I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.